It's been a minute since we did some cyber horror. I've actually been slacking on my tech cyber horror, which is one of my favorite genres. Netflix released an original about 2 years ago called Cam, and then just recently Shudder released an original called Host, and they both have to do with live streaming. Two different forms of live streaming, but live streaming all the same. That's why I pair them together. Let's start with Cam. Cam is a Netflix original, which is about a girl named Alice, who is a live stream cam girl who finds out one day that she has been replaced by some type of doppelganger or replica of herself. The movie opens up with Alice hosting her cam girl show. She's interacting with her audience much in the same way that many live streamers on YouTube or Twitch interact with their audience. They're sending her tokens, which is kind of like this movie's form of super chats. During her live stream, she does something super unexpected, which I won't tell you about because I was surprised by it. I want you to be surprised by it. I liked it a lot. Also, it was interesting to see her do this from the perspective of the cam girl. The actress in this has eyes that remind me of Emma from Spooky Astronaut's channel. If you haven't seen her channel on YouTube, follow her. She's pretty cool. But this actress has similar eyes to Emma's. There's so much to relate to, at least for me, in this movie. Like, for example, when she's watching the other cam girls' shows, and some of them are doing really interesting, entertaining, well thought out things, and then another one is just sitting there looking at the camera, not really doing much, but the one not doing much is number one. I see that a lot on YouTube. I see some YouTubers that really make these amazingly thought out, well edited videos. They usually hover around 20,000 to 50,000 subscribers, and their content is so good. And then there's other people that they barely do anything and they have like 250,000 subscribers, and I'm like, how do you have 250,000 and this other person who's basically producing documentaries every week only has 20 to 50,000 subscribers? It's wild. You just never know what people are gonna latch on to. Then on top of it, they have to deal with copyright strikes. That's where some of my favorite YouTubers have to deal with getting copyright strikes when they're not even doing anything wrong under fair use terms, but these big companies don't give a damn about fair use. One more gripe before I finish my rant. There's also you have those people, like I just described, that do excellent videos. They are well researched, they're well thought out, well scripted, really great editing, everything put together beautifully. Not a lot of traction. Other people just sit down and just say a whole bunch of crap, give out faulty or false information, get things wrong, act like they're watching something that you can clearly tell they did not watch it. They're just talking about it as if they did watch it, but they didn't really watch it. Bonus points if they're yelling, screaming, and making a spectacle of themselves and bugging their eyes and all that. I'm gonna call it YouTube coonery, because it's like an amplification of what a human being actually acts like. But not quite the level of clownery, if that means anything. Anyways, I'm off on a tangent. There was a moment in this film that kind of addressed those type of issues. When you think about it, it's really just a commentary on society and how we're getting closer and closer to ouch my balls. Like, if you've ever seen the movie Idiocracy, that was the #1 program in America, was called Ouch My Balls, in this futuristic world created by Matt Judge. We're already halfway there. I mean, if you look at Failblog. Another thing that this movie addressed was the pressure to be online a lot. I would say about 6 years ago, it was enough for a YouTuber to produce a video once a week. Maybe twice if you're really, really productive. I think that was the norm because most YouTubers did it as a hobby and they had full-time jobs. More recently, we've seen a proliferation of professional YouTubers who are able to produce more content more frequently because they're doing it full-time. The person who used to be a great example of this is DJ Academics. There were times where he would produce 6 to 8 videos a day. Or at least that was before Everyday Struggle and before he became Tekashi69 personal PR. Okay, no more tangents, I promise. But back to the matter at hand. I love the premise of this movie. It's listed as mystery, horror, thriller, but it's also very much science fiction, especially since the threat in this is not supernatural or psychological, it's technological. There are lots of Alice in Wonderland references. I can't even begin to dissect that for you because, as y'all know, I am not super familiar with Disney cartoons. Although I'm sure that was a story, like in a storybook before Disney, but I'm not super familiar with Alice in Wonderland, so I can't dissect it. I'm sure there is a video on YouTube dissecting all the different things from Alice in Wonderland that connect to plot elements in Cam. There are some timeline issues. I don't know whether they are meant to be there or they just sort of happened. I did see online that there are theories that the story may not be told chronologically. I'm not sure I completely agree with that. It kind of made me feel like they just made a mistake with some of the dates. For example, at one point Alice is looking up information on another girl about the date of her death. One article she looks at lists the date of the young lady's death as 2014. She scrolls down and in the same shot the girl's death is listed as 2015. I don't know whether that is meant to be a clue or whether it was generally just an editing mistake. So the dates just might be arbitrary. The meat and the potatoes of this has to deal with algorithms, and that's all I'll say about that. I really can't say more without spoiling it. I liked how this movie ended. I actually ended up watching it twice. And I still flinch when a certain thing happens in the movie. Even though I know it's going to happen, it still affected me. It speaks to a person's motivation for being a cam girl, a Twitch streamer, a YouTube content creator, or an Instagram influencer. Let's talk technical specs. This movie looks pretty good. I like the camera work, the lighting, etc. The acting is great. I really enjoy the soundtrack as well. It has a title track song called Galaxy by Missy Modell, and when you listen to it, it sounds exactly like All Around the World La 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 by ATC. I would put the music in this for comparison, but I don't want to get dinged for copyright. Suffice it to say, I really enjoyed this. For me, the Netflix movies are getting better and better, because if you've seen my other reviews, starting with The Open House, which was trash, The Apostle, which... there was another one. The Ritual, that was okay. It wasn't great. But out of those, so far, Cam has been the best. Hopefully they'll continue to get better. I'll be right back and we'll talk about Shudder and their original movie, Host. Tell me why I hear Zap and Roger Computer Love in my head right now. Let's get into Host. This is a great little movie. Little because it's a great length for this format. It was a smart choice to make this film only 56 minutes long because it didn't drag and it got right to the point. It didn't really have any character development, but for some reason I didn't mind. We had all the information we needed because this was kind of like stumbling onto a cool ghost video on YouTube at like 3 in the morning. I actually watched this at 2:50 in the morning because I'm that stupid person in horror movies. Speaking of how you watch this, I think there's a best way to watch this. I almost started to watch this on a big screen in the living room, and that would have been a mistake. I think that would have taken away from the format of this movie. I've watched and reviewed The Den, Searching, Open Windows, Unfriended, 1 and 2, and Friend Request, so I'm pretty much an expert on the video chat subgenre of found footage horror movies. Some of the movies I just listed, I watched on my laptop with headphones on, and in my opinion, I feel like that's the best way to watch these movies. Watching these at the movie theater or on your TV takes away from the experience, and I actually feel bad for people who watched Friend Requests in the movie theater. That would have completely taken me out of the moment. I'm glad I watched it on my laptop because it felt like I was really watching something on my laptop. Because I was watching something on my laptop. But like I said, watching these on a laptop, tablet, even your phone, with headphones makes for a more immersive experience. It makes you feel like you're on that Zoom call. I must acknowledge that there may be a generational divide with regards to these types of movies. It's my opinion that maybe teenagers might enjoy these more so than older people, because they're the people that are going to be most likely to watch a movie on their laptop. I know 14-year-old me would have loved The Host had I seen it back in the day, because it's the type of scary that it gives you a little bit of a jolt, but it's not so scary that you can't sleep at night or that you can't watch it by yourself. It's that middle range scary where it's not like, not completely unscary or uncreepy, but it's not, oh, this is going to creep me out for days either. It's just right in the middle. It's creepy while you're watching it, but if you had to get up and walk to the bathroom in the dark, you could do it. Don't you just love it when I get a 2 for 2? Both movies are pretty good movies. I mean, they're not amazing, awesome, excellent movies. They're just all right, but that's okay. It's okay to have an all right movie. I enjoyed both of them well enough. Have you seen Cam or Host? Which streaming service did a better job with their original programming? Netflix or Shudder, in your opinion? Do you like video chat movies? That's what I'm going to call them now. I'm going to call them video chat movies, a subgenre of found footage. And I don't know if that's correct, but that's what I'm calling it. But, like I always say, watch it for yourself. Just because I love something doesn't mean you won't hate it, and just because I hate something doesn't mean you won't love it. Have you seen either of these movies? Do you like video chat format? Do you think Netflix or Shudder are doing a better job with their original content? Let me know in the comments. Bye.